Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki tato vatsan adrishtvaitya pulinepi cha vatsapan ubhavapi vane krishno Vichikaya samantataha. Ataha, thereafter. Vatsan, the calves. Adrishtva, not seeing there within the forest. Etya, after. Puline api, to the bank of the Yamuna. Cha, also. Vatsapan, could not see the cowherd boys. Ubhau api, both of them, the calves and the cowherd boys. Pane, within the forest. Krishnaha, Lord Krishna. Vichikaya, searched all over. Samantataha, here and there. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Sharanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Please repeat. Thereafter, when Krishna was unable to find the calves, he returned to the bank of the river, but there he was also unable to see the cowherd boys. Thus, he began to search for both the calves and the boys, as if he could not understand what had happened. Purport, please hear. Krishna could immediately understand that Brahma had taken away both the calves and the boys. But as an innocent child, he searched here and there so that Brahma could not understand Krishna's Maya. This was all a dramatic performance. A player knows everything, but still he plays on the stage in such a way that others do not understand him. Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Purports Ki Jai. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkripa tamaham vande Shri Gurun Deenatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyamishwaram. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Mahavishnu Swami Namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine. Thereafter, when Krishna was unable to find the calves, he returned to the bank of the river. But there he was also unable to see the cowherd boys. Thus he began to search for both the calves and the boys, as if he could not understand what had happened. Hare Krishna Prabhu's Matajis. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to glorify Srimad Bhagavatam in all your august presence. It's a great privilege, especially in this glorious month. And please forgive me for the Maryada Vyatikrama. So many great Mahatmas are here. I am trying to serve all of you by doing whatever little I know, sharing. There is a nice verse in 1st Canto, 18th chapter, verse number 23. Sutta Goswami is asked this question by the 88,000 rishis, and Shaunaka Rishi represents the rishis, and he asks various questions, and he answers in a verse that aham hi prishto aryamano mahadbir achaksha atma vagato yatra yavan. He says that I am you are able to hear me now better? Okay. That shloka is very nice. Aham hi prishto aryamano bahadbir achaksha atma vagato atra yavan nabha patantyatma samam patatrinas tata vishnugatim vipaschitaha tata samam vishnugatim vipaschitaha. It's a beautiful verse. What Sutta Goswami is saying is, aham hi prishto aryamano mahadbir. All of you are like glorious glowing suns, and I am like a small glowworm in front of you. Just like achaksha atma vagato yatra yavan. Then he says nabha patanti. The sky is there, and different birds fly at different heights. Mosquito flies at 10-meter height, pigeon flies at maybe 100-meter height, eagle flies at 4 miles height. I am like a mosquito. So you all are like the glorious suns. Please forgive me if I make any offense. And but how much ever we try to explain about the Supreme Lord, we cannot reach. Just like no birds can reach the sky. He is unlimited. So that particular shloka sets the standard for Srimad Bhagavatam, Shravanam and Kirtanam. So if I make any offense in my little glorification of the Supreme Lord and the devotees, please excuse me. So this particular Leela is the most beautiful Leela, and it's very much in connection with our, Srila Prabhupada. This chapter is the last chapter, in fact, Prabhupada translated in his earthly pastimes. We all know how he translated, how he wrote these books, lying down in the same quarters, with the devotee showing the dictaphone very close to him, and it's amazing how he said that the quality or standard of devotional service, pure devotional service, and he taught us time and again that there is no substitute to pure devotional service. We may do anything and everything in this world, but at the end of the day, we all have to come down to that one single point, that is pure devotional service. We can't find an alternative, It's too difficult for us to do this pure devotional service. And even after you do pure devotional service, you see how the gopas and gopis are, they are struggling with their love. Krishna is, that reciprocation from Krishna is very challenging. To expecting that reciprocation. You know how the gopis in the Gopi Geet and all pray, right? So, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it so nicely said that it is like drinking the hot sugar cane. It is so sweet, but it is so hot. So, you can neither give it up nor, drink it, like you can't just drink it up like that. You have to sip slowly, but at the same time, it's like a dilemma. But it may look like a misery outside. Chaitanya Prabhu says there that it may look like a misery outside, but inside they are all actually enjoying that Leela with Krishna, whether he is in that Vipralamba or in the Sambhoga or Vibhoga, in both cases. So, this particular pastime is very beautiful because the Acharya of our Sampradaya, Brahma himself, he himself is bewildered by Krishna. And throughout this 13th and 14th chapter, you will see that so many interesting things come out. And especially in the 13th chapter, lot of deep points Prabhupada has given us. Even that in such a painful, challenging last few days or few months, Prabhupada has given the best of purpose in this chapter. And in the next chapter also, Prabhupada's disciples had taken out as much as possible from Krishna book and put it there, which is so beautiful to read through. So, Brahma, one thing is very interesting to begin with. Throughout Bhagavatam, if you see, the demigods actually go through some challenges from the demons, and then they go and complain, they will put their thing forward to Brahma. Then Brahma takes them all to Kshirosagar, and there he goes and he prays to the Lord, and the Lord conveys only to Brahma, and then Brahma comes back and relays it to the demigods. So this is the norm, normally because Brahma is the leader of the demigods, etc. But here it is slightly ulta, reverse. Actually, when the Aghasura is killed, all the devatas, they flew flower shower. But Brahma alone does not know it's Krishna, the Supreme Lord, his dear Lord himself is doing this. He alone is kind of oblivious to this, the fact that Krishna is the Supreme Narayana. And when somebody comes and tells him that, see, this young boy, he has killed just such a huge snake, python, and then he is just taking it casually. What do you think? I don't know about my Lord. You are telling about something as if I don't know about the Lord. My Lord is the Supreme Lord Vishnu. He is opulence personified. And here he is just playing around like a small cowherd boy among with some boys, like that. And that is where the real problem starts, taking it for granted, taking it too lightly, taking the Lord too lightly. And this particular thing, it comes, the source of this is in pride. The source of this taking someone for granted comes from the pride. And that is where the Lord wanted to teach us a lesson through his dear devotee. He chooses the best of devotees to teach us the lessons. He chooses Arjuna, he chooses Parikshit Maharaj, he chooses Yudhishthira Maharaj, and he chooses Brahmaji also. And so we can't just say that, Brahma, how can he behave like this? No, but he has been chosen by Krishna. Our Acharya, the Supreme Acharya, has been chosen by Krishna to teach a particular lesson to us. Krishna even tolerates, little bit of lust in us. He knows that, like for example, Kubja and a few others, he knows that. But one thing that Krishna does not like at all is pride. Even the slightest of pride in us, he would want to get rid of, somehow or other. And you can see that through the pride only, why he is doing that? Because you can see that through the pride only everything enters, all the kalmashas enters. If you see in our Parikshit Maharaj's pastime also, his interaction with Shringi and Shamik Rishi, he did not directly interact with Shringi, but it was offline interaction. That he gave a sharp, the curse. So you see, Prabhupada says that beautifully in the purport in the 18th chapter, that when Kali wanted to enter into this, into the kingdom of Parikshit Maharaj, he could not find a single flaw. everybody was behaving perfectly well. The Kshatriyas are behaving all right. They were respecting the Brahmanas and saints and Vaishnavas. The Brahmanas were so pakka, immaculately, they were following their thing. And the Vaishya Sudras, everybody, all the ashramas, everybody were performing perfectly all right. So he was struggling to find a hole where he can enter. And Prabhupada says, there is a sloka that we say that four places where Parikshit Maharaj gives the place for the Kali to stay, right? Even those 4 places were not there. No, it's like you come to Kartik, to Vrindavan and Kartik and don't have any accommodation, what will you do? Especially in the month of Kartik, you come, you don't find a place to stay. Then you will find it difficult. So that's how Kali was finding it difficult. So finally, Krishna gave a slight hole. Through what? Not through Parikshit Maharaj. Many of us think that it's through Parikshit Maharaj, but Prabhupada doesn't say that, because Parikshit Maharaj's act was unprecedented and it was ordained by the Lord. He was not unprecedented, means he was not expected to act that way. So how did Kali enter in? Through the young Brahmana boy Shringi. Because the Brahmana boy was trained, but he was not cultured. He was not experienced. So he had all the power, but he did not know when to use and when not to use, and how to behave and how to treat others, etc. So there lies the small hole, and that is the only place through which Kali could enter. So that pride is the only place through which the Kali can enter into our lives. The Kali means, Kali Yuga is not Kali Yuga. It's our own mind. Manah param karana mamananti samsara chakram parivartayedyat. Avanti Brahmana says in the 11th canto, 23rd chapter, verse number 42. Nayam janome sukha dukkha hetu na devatatma graha karma kalaha manah param karanamamananti samsara chakram parivartayedyat. He rejects everything that we think that those are the reason for our struggle. Nayam janome. The first thing that we say is, all these people are the reason for my problem. We say that, this person is the cause of my problem. Oh, he didn't do it on right, that's why I am suffering. Like that, we keep on putting the blame on others. And Avanti Brahmana was actually, Jai Shri Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Bhagwan ki Jai, Shri Shri Krishna Balram ki Jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Bhagwan ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So, we think that everybody, all the people around us are the cause of our problem. We never say we are the cause of our problem. But that's the first thing that Avanti Brahmana says, Na ayam janome. These people are not the cause of my problem. Bhagavatam is so practical, Prabhu's Matajis. If we simply go into each and every pastime, there are so many practical lessons that we can take out, which we can practice. It's practicable. I think Vidura tells to Maitra, or somebody says, it's practicable. Kapil Muni says this, it is practicable. Devotional service is 100% practicable. That is why Srila Prabhupada's movement is growing and growing and growing. How it is possible that, it's so nicely said here, in this 10-13-50, this purport. I just loved this last paragraph. Just want to read this. In our Krishna Balram, no, not this one. Yeah. No, not that 50. Yeah. Here it is. In Vrindavana, there is a place where there was no temple, but a devotee desired, let there be a temple and seva, devotional service. Therefore, what was once an empty corner has now become a place of pilgrimage. Such are the desires of a devotee. This Prabhupada's disciples are writing, no, it's actually written by Prabhupada himself, and he didn't put his name there. He just wrote that, once a devotee desired that let there be a temple, and that manifested. Such are the desires of the devotee. So, he says, Na ayam janome sukha dukkha hetu. For my happiness and distress, these people are not the cause of my happiness and distress. Na devata, we say that demigod is the cause of the problem, this demigod is devata is the cause. No devatas are cause of. Graha, no grahas. We go and extend our hands to all the astrologers. Instead, we extend our hand to the pujaris, they will give some mahaprasadam. Right? So, it's not worth it. You may get something, but still, it's of not much use, because ultimately, all the lines, all the things changes when we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And Srimad Bhagavatam. These two are best of our means to rectify all things that are like hurdles in our life. So, Devata Atma, even this body is not the cause. Graha, no, though grahas are not the cause. Karma, our own karma, we always say, Prabhu, my bad karma. No, the karmas are not the cause. Then Kala, we say, bad time, Prabhu, my bad time it is happening. No, why it is bad time? The time is bad because our destiny, we had done something in the past and that has to come here. But in spite of all these things, if our mind is fixed in the lotus feet of Krishna, Manah Krishna Nishevaye, when we do that, then they just come and go. Like if you are under the shelter, the rain may come, but it will not affect us. Manaparam karanamamananti. Only the mind is the cause of all the problem. This is what we have to learn from the various pastimes that we have. So, pride is something which Krishna does not like at all. Even the slightest bit if it is there, even in gopis, they were slightly proud, just vanished. And then they had to search for him. Then finally, they repented and they were crying for him, he came back. Right? Many times we have this feeling that, oh, I am doing all right. The moment I say I am doing all right, then Krishna says, no, you are not all right. Just become, it's not all right. You have to go forward. And it's a very interesting thing. We have our Srila Sanatan Goswami's worshipable deity is what? Shri Radha Madan Mohan. One meaning of Madan Mohan is one who can attract even the Cupid. Correct? But there is another meaning to it. Mada na moha na. No mada, no moha. Mada is pride. Moha is illusion. As soon as we develop slightest of pride in us, then we land in illusion, mada, moha. And we can only approach Krishna if we are free from pride and illusion. Krishna's reciprocation will be there only when we are free from these two dangerous things. And what is the next thing that automatically follows? Envy. That's why in the sequence, we have Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada, Moha, Matsarya. M. 3 M's, no? 3 M we say, no? So Mada, Moha, then finally Matsarya. And that is how all the thing happens, our fall down, everything happens. That's why it is said pride cometh before fall, we say, right? Just before fall. And the problem with pride and illusion is that you will never know that you are in these two. You will never know that we are in pride until we fall. Or someone tells, Prabhu, you should not do like this. How much do you know about me? I am doing all right. My Guru Maharaj said I am all right. My senior devotee said I am all right. Somebody might say something. We can't wait to hear and process it in our mind. Pride does not allow us to process any things in our mind with an open mind. And the mind is like a parachute. It works only when it is open. If mind is closed, it cannot work. So that is the most important thing we should, Manaparam Karana Mamananti. The mind is the cause of all the problems. So this pride immediately puts us in illusion. As soon as there is the slightest of pride that I am doing, then immediately we go into illusion. And that's exactly what Krishna shows through Lord Brahma. The pride was there. Who knows more than me? Who knows Krishna more than me? As soon as that thought comes, that bewilderment happened. Vimohana Leela. That Brahma Vimohana Leela. He was bewildered. He didn't understand that Krishna can take any form. The Supreme Lord can take any form and still do his pastimes. Creation, annihilation, maintenance, whatever it may be. It is all his Leela. Krishna's pastimes is something which we have to be really, really careful about because he can do anything he wants. And we have to accept it. His Damodar Leela, Damodar month, he is crying. He is running away out of fear. Yashoda Abhiholuka, La Dhavamanam. But our acharyas have so beautifully explained this point that Namami Ishwaram Satchidananda Rupam. That is what the beauty of our acharyas. If you take that line out and just simply sing the rest of the things, it will look like, you are talking about some normal person. And the Tattva Vishesh is established in that first line. Namami Ishwaram, the supreme controller. But he becomes bound and controlled by the love and devotion of his devotees, pure devotees. And that's exactly he wants to show here. And this, when Brahma became little proud, it's for his level, actually he could be even more proud, like Hiranyakashipu. But it was very tiny thing that came without his knowledge. Illusion also, if you tell somebody that hey, you are in Maya, he will never accept he is in Maya. Only when he comes out of Maya, he will say that, oh Prabhu, I was in Maya. No? That is the thing. So the same thing happens here also. Brahma said, what's the big deal? I know, my Lord, you people are, I created you people, and you are coming and telling me that this small boy is the Supreme Lord. Krishna was not so much worried about that also. But the serious problem is that he even took Krishna's pure devotees for granted. He took Krishna for granted. That Krishna is not worried so much about. But because he was taking Krishna as a Gopas, a small, normal boy, he took Krishna's dear devotees, the other Gopas also, just normal boys, any other boy. So a group of boys playing around. And that is why he had the impudence or the pride to take them away from Krishna and put them in his Maya. Krishna said that, who are you to put my devotees into Maya? I will put you in a greater Maya, that you will know that the verse which Purnamada Purnamidam, how much ever you take, it will still remain the same. My boys, my friends will still be there with me. And that is exactly how the Supreme Lord is teaching to us through Brahma. Many times we also have services, and the moment we take up the service, the challenge is that for sometimes initially we'll be doing with a little bit of fear in our mind, or some little bit of that humility will be there. As soon as we do that, somebody will come and say, Prabhu, you did it so nicely, you did a nice class, you did a nice kirtan, or whatever, nice seva, you cleaned very nicely. Then that comes, that acknowledgement of appreciation comes and sits in our heart. Then the next time I do it, I am conscious of that. I am conscious of the appreciation I received. Then we do with a little bit of lacklustersness, with a little carelessness. And that's exactly what Brahmaji is showing here. If you see, Brahma is the most powerful devotee throughout Bhagavatam. He is the representative of all the demigods, and he is directly talking to the Lord. And not only that, if you see, one unique thing about Brahma is that he has the maximum number of prayers in Bhagavatam. Shiva has one or two prayers. Prahlad's prayers, few prayers. His prayers is the longest, but he has only one. But Brahma has multiple prayers, and total you count, that will be the maximum number of prayers. In the third canto, he has his prayers, which is beautiful, for creative potency. Here, in the 14th chapter, he has the Brahma's prayers of repentance. This is so sweet. That is about the creative potency. With that, I told you initially that when you go there, you will pray little with fear. You will go to Krishna for service. How I will do, I don't know, like that. But after that, some impudence starts building up. Then we start thinking that I can do this better. And then somebody comes and tells, Prabhu, we can do this way. No, Prabhu, I know how to do this. You just follow me. So we don't follow Krishna. We don't follow our spiritual master. We want others to follow us. So in this case, what happened? He has the maximum number of prayers to show, and teachings also. In spite of that, if he can fall into this dangerous situation by a slight little pride, then where are we? That is the question we have to ask. And the other important thing that we have to see is that in our devotional service, we should also be ready to face any disruption at any time. We should be ready. We can't just take it for granted that, I have come to Vrindavan, Kartik, nothing will happen to me. No, we should be ready, because we don't know the account, our karma account, the thoughts, we don't know our account. But Krishna knows. He knows perfectly well. That is why, without even blinking an eye, without even just thinking or making a big plan, Krishna ensured that Brahma's thing is taken out, the pride is taken out. And that's when he so beautifully, in the 14th chapter, Brahma prays so beautifully, Narayanastvam nahi sarvadehina Atmasyadisha akhila loka sakshi Narayanongam narabhujalayana Tacha pisatyam natavaiva maya Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Such a beautiful prayer. In this prayer, in his set of prayers of repentance, Brahma so beautifully establishes this tattva, the param tattvam, Krishna is the supreme absolute truth. Narayanastvam, you are the original Narayana. Nahi sarva dehinam, are you not in all our bodies? Narayanastvam nahi sarva dehinam atmasi, you are the Atma. You are the Paramatma sitting in everybody's heart. Adisha Akhila Loka Sakshi. Akhila Loka Sakshi means you are the witness of everybody's heart, what is happening in everybody's heart. With this, Brahma is establishing this fact that even before I had that pride, that I was proud. And that because of that, you are able to detect that, and you devised a plan very easily. And that plan, how he planned, Krishna did not go and, if we have to, smash someone's pride, we have to plan all night. We will not sleep at all. We'll say, next day when this person comes, I will make sure that his pride is smashed. He is put in his place. We will think like that, But Krishna, Parasa Shakti Vividaiva Shruyate, Natasya Karyam Karanam Cha Vidyate, Natat Samascha Abhyadikascha Drishyate. He doesn't have to go and do anything. Simply he has to desire. And Parasya Shakti Vividhaiva Shruyate. Thousands and thousands of Shaktis are there who can act in ways in which they can devise in such a way that that person's anarthas are taken out. Parasya Shakti Vividhaiva Shruyate Swabhaviki Jnana Balakriyacha. Swabhaviki. Like every morning we brush our teeth. Are we going and telling everybody that, Prabhu, I brush my teeth, you see my teeth, how white it is, how nice my teeth is? No. Or how difficult it was to brush my teeth, We never say that. Because it is swabhaviki, Whereas if I asked you to do DT worship, if I have not done that, I'll be really struggling hard because it's not swabhaviki. When you are learning to drive the car, initially there will be a lot of struggle, shake will be there. But once you become swabhava, you just drive a phone on one hand and something on other hand, and drinking water, putting some snacks here and there, and you just still drive. So that is swabhaviki. And that swabhaviki, what did Krishna does? Jnana, bala and kriya. Jnana, bala, kriya. Knowledge, strength and activity. Prabhupada says, without being fully knowledgeable, fully strong and with full activity, one's endeavor is never successful. And that is why Krishna's endeavors never fail, because he is full in everything. Purnamada Purnamidam. Our endeavors sometimes succeed, sometimes fails, depending on our surrender. When we are surrendered, then we are to Krishna. So, Narayanastvam Narayanongam Anga. Narayana is your Anga. Narabhu Jalayanat. He is the one who is lying down in that Nara. So he is establishing this fact that my pride better than even before me. This we have to be aware of. This is that thing that Prabhupada always said, that always bear in mind that Krishna is continuously watching us. Where is Krishna watching us? He just closed the door or he is not there? No, he has 12 witnesses. He has this our sun, moon, 12 CIDs are there. Yamaraj is telling this. Sun, moon, stars, day, night, directions, and then as Paramatma, he has 12 different witnesses. In the 6th canto he says that. Suryognih kam marudevaha somasa sandhyahani dishaha kam kuh swayam dharma iti yetyasyo eva sakshinaha. That's the shloka. In 12 witnesses he has, all the time they are watching over us. If we think that Krishna is not watching over us, So, this is how he was watching, and Brahma is so humbly praying. There is a nice statement in Hindi, in a proverb in Hindi. Laguta se prabhuta mile, prabhuta se prabhu dur, kidi mishri chun le, gaj dare jag dur. Very beautiful thing, You understood, Prabhu? You know Hindi, right? Yeah, first line. Laguta se prabhuta mile. Laguta means humble, being on the ground. When we are lagu, then we become great, Prabhuta. But if we think that we are great, Prabhuta say Prabhu dur, Prabhu is Krishna. If you think we are great, then Krishna is too far away from us. Api dura darshanam. He is too far away from us. We cannot see him. Kidi mishri chunle means this small ant goes and takes this sugar, mishri, sugar candy. It goes to that only. But gajadare jagadur, the elephant is so big, but it goes, take bath, but comes and puts mud on itself. So the size doesn't matter, but this laguta se prabhuta mile, very beautiful thing. So the best thing is to be as close to Krishna as possible, as near to Krishna as possible. You know that other one, what is that? Maya chakki janiye, kila rupa Bhagavan. Kila nikat so bach gaye, aur baki gaye pisan. The grinder is there. The grinder is there. In that grinder, the killa is there. The stick is there in the center. You put the grains around and then you crush. So what happens? The grains that are there and the flat part, they get crushed. But those grains that are nearer to the stick, they don't get crushed. They are saved. You see? So how nice. Our ancestors have given Bhagavatam principles in such simple, saral things, say examples. So that is how we have to be. We try to be as close to Krishna as possible. Now, we are talking about this pride, right? How to get rid of this pride? Very simple solution. Very simple solution is given in the 7th canto, 15th chapter, verse number 23. Dambam mahadupashaya. Best way to get rid of pride is serve great devotees, serve the sincere devotees around. Go and serve. Service is the best way to get rid of pride. But we have to serve with a service attitude. That is service attitude means what? I am not qualified to get this service, but somehow or other I have got this service by Krishna's mercy, by devotee's mercy, and I would like to do this sincerely. This is so beautiful. The glory of service is so beautifully enhanced by Prahlad Maharaj's prayers to Vamandev. Prahlad Maharaj is praying to Vamandev in the 8th canto of 23rd chapter, verse number 7. We know Prahlad Maharaj's prayers to Narsinghadev, they are very famous. But Prahlad Maharaj's prayers to Vamandev is very, very beautiful. And the more beautiful thing about this prayer is it's so deep, but Prabhupada has not given a single line purport. My spiritual master used to say that when Prabhupada does not write a purport, it means that whatever he has written is enough for us to understand that. So this verse is so beautiful. You go deep into each and every word, you will appreciate it so much. And Prahlad Maharaj is telling about himself, and he is actually putting Brahmaji in a higher position. We are thinking about Brahma, how can he be getting pride and all that. But you see how a pure devotee of Prahlad Maharaj is glorifying Brahma and his other associates. Yat pada padma makaranda nishevanena brahmadaya sharanadashnuvate vibhutihi kasmad vayam kusrutaya kalayona yaste dakshanya drishti padavim bhavatah pranita. Very beautiful way. Yat pada padma makaranda nishevanena. This word nishevanena is so beautiful, Actually, he's saying Prabhupada is writing for nishevanena by tasting the sweetness of rendering service. By tasting the sweetness of rendering service. It's such a beautiful word. Prabhu's Matajis, please, if you have to study Prabhupada's books, please go word by word. Read in between the lines. Read in between the words. My spiritual master always used to tell us this one thing, that you do, bisecting the longitudinal section, that you just bisect, right? If you want to learn what is the anatomy of the body, you don't cut a human body every time. You take a frog or a rat and you just cut it and then see where the parts are. So like that, we have to do bisect longitude, latitude, whatever. You just do whatever it is possible to get into the shlokas. And Prabhupada said, Bhagavatam takes lifetime to understand. And that is with the condition that we are doing this reading in between the lines. If you don't read in between the lines, it doesn't matter. Even millions of lines will not be enough. So this yat pada padma makaranda nishevanena. Nishevanena means tasting the sweetness of rendering service, we said. Makaranda is honey. The sweetness of honey, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, that tastes like honey. Makaranda. How sweet that honey is. You don't have to add any artificial flavors to make honey sweet. By default, honey is sweet, and it has no expiry date. That's the only thing it doesn't have expiry date, isn't it, Prabhu? Pure honey doesn't have expiry date. Yat pada padma makaranda nishevanena, what is Prahlad Maharaj saying? Brahmadaya, great exalted devotees like Brahma and all have tasted the sweetness of rendering service to your lotus feet, and because of that they have taken full shelter of you. Sharanada. This word Sharanada is very interesting. Sharana dadatiti sharana. Sharanada means one who can give Sharana is Sharanada. In other words, only if you appreciate a person's greatness of giving us the shelter, we will be able to take his shelter without any anxiety, isn't it? If I see that that roof is there, if I always think that the roof is going to break down, I will not sit there peacefully. But if I have faith that, okay, this roof will be standing forever, I will lie down peacefully. Sukhi nidrasai. So, that way, Brahmadaya Sharanada Ashnuvate Vibhutihi. They are enjoying the benedictions given by Krishna. This mercy is a big benediction by Krishna. Krishna is engaging Brahma in his Vimohana Leela. We think that Krishna is educating or he is putting Brahma down. No. Actually, being part of that Leela is the greatest benediction. And that benediction Brahma is enjoying. And because of that, they are glorious. And why? Because they are tasting the sweetness of rendering service. Any service that is given to us, whether it is sweeping the floor or doing book distribution or whatever, no name, fame, other things attached. No other side business attached. Just do service for the sake of doing. The service should define the servant. The servant should not define the service. This is the most beautiful thing we have in our... Prabhupada always said about this service, and in that 10, 13, 15, 50 also, let there be devotional service. Prabhupada says that beautifully. So, but then he is putting himself in a lower position. Who? Prahlad Maharaj. Kasmat Vayam, when Bali Maharaj is punished, no, after that Prahlad Maharaj is speaking these words. Kasmat Vayam Kusutayah Kalayonayaste. We are only Kalayoni. We are Kalayonis. We are born in this Kali. Kala means... fighting, always fighting. They will do only two things. One is they will fight between each other, or they will get together and fight with the third person. Fighting is the only thing they will do. So this Kalayonayaste, even then, Dakshinya Drishti Padavi, Dakshinya Drishti means sidelong glance. See, when you are facing east, Dakshina is on your right, isn't it? South is on your right. So when you are facing east, then you can't see, turn here and see like this. That sidelong glance. By that, Krishna will always see with the sidelong glance, Dakshinya Drishti. With that Dakshinya Drishti, Krishna has given us that Padavi. Padavi means designation. What is that designation? Servant of the servant of the servant. Not, that position, that is not the Padavi. Padavi means shelter at the lotus feet. Pada, Pada, Padavi. So, Dakshinya Drishti Padavim, Bhavata Pranita. We are fighting. We are kusrutai. We are rogues and thieves. We are always looking at snatching others' property. We are looking at all pride. Everything is there in us. Brahma and other great souls are doing such great service to you for so long. In spite of that, how did you cast your sidelong glance and gave us the opportunity to render that mercy, that service? That is your costless mercy. You can't define costless mercy because it is costless. This is what Prahlad Maharaj says. We will close with... Now, Brahma is, telling these things, but the most beautiful thing about Krishna consciousness is that even if we are put down sometime or we lose the service or sometime or whatever, for whatever reason, another service is waiting for us. And that waiting time is preaching time. Prabhupada always said, Pratikshan, Kalam Pratikshan Vimado Vimatsaraha. Without Mada, without Matsara, we should do preaching. During that time is when we should preach. If nobody is around, Prabhupada said, preach to your own mind. Rakho Vachanam Manamora. We say in the morning, every day. Hari Nama Sudarasa. Gavo Krishna Yesha. Rakho Vachanam Manamora. We are preaching to the mind. Always keep this in mind. Hari Nama Sudaras. That's the whole thing. So, our Brahma is telling two beautiful prayers. With that we will end today. How this... even when we are the pride, when smashed also, how a devotee takes it nicely in his stride instead of, and see an opportunity for service rather than seeing it as, oh, I have lost everything, I have nowhere to go. Not like that. But he is still praying for this beautiful benediction to Krishna. Initially what we said, Brahma's offense is not that taking Krishna for granted. He was taking his devotees, pure devotees for granted. All the gopas were granted. So what he's saying is, in 10:14:34, my greatest possible good fortune would be to take any birth, whatever in this forest of Gokula, and have my head bathed by the dust falling from the lotus feet of any of its residents. Their entire life and soul is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mukunda, the dust from whose lotus feet is still being searched for in the Vedic mantras. Vedeshu durlabam aturladam atmabhakto. And then in the next beautiful verse, and you will see these verses, especially the prayers of repentance by Brahma is so sweet. And it's how much ever you read, you will not reach the end of your relish. I just sing this shloka. It's such a beautiful shloka. Yesham gosha nivasinam utapavan kindevarat etinas cheto vishvaphalat phalam tvadaparam kutrapyayan muhyati Sadveshadiva putana pisakula tvameva deva pita yaddharmartha suhrit priyatmatanaya pranashayas tatkrite. So beautiful prayer by Brahma, and we will try to end with this thing, just trying to understand this verse. Yesham gosha nivasinam Uta Bhavan. Gosha Nivasina means your very close associates with the Gopas, Gopis, all the Gwalas, everybody. Uta Bhavan, oh great Lord, I didn't know their greatness. Kim Deva Ratetinas, but they are all so pure. But now he is telling, I am thinking now. He is telling all these prayers, and towards the end, Brahma is telling this, I am thinking now. What will you give to them? It's a beautiful prayer, the best prayer in the entire Bhagavatam by Brahma. If you can just meditate on this one prayer for throughout the day, our Kartik Vrata is successful, at least for today. Kim Deva Ratetinas, what will you give? I am just thinking, I am bewildered. Actually, he was bewildered before Brahma Vimohana Lila. At that time, he didn't think that he was bewildered. But now he is saying, I am bewildered. But actually, he is not bewildered now. He is relieved from the bewilderment by Krishna's mercy. He says, I am bewildered. What will you give to your devotees? Kim Deva Ratetinas. Cheto Vishwaphalat Phalam Tvadaparam. I am thinking, Vishwaphalat Phalam means you are the greatest benediction. Yeah, all the benedictions reside in you. If someone has you as their associate or companion, they can take anything they want. They don't have to worry about anything. Vishwaphalat phalam tvadaparam. Other than you, there is no other benediction I can see you giving to your dear friends, Gopas and Gopis. Kutrapyayan mukhyati. I am mukhyati. I am now bewildered. I am in illusion. I am in bewildered. How you will give? What will you give? Because in the third line he says a beautiful point. Sadveshadapi putana Satveshadiva putana sakula. Putanapi sakula. Putana had two other brothers. Right? Putana, Agasura, Bakasura. Putana was the first one to be delivered by Krishna. Sadveshad. She actually acted as if she is a devotee. She didn't act like a devotee. She wanted to be a devotee. She wanted to show that she is one of the Gopas and acted that way. But you gave the highest position already. And these other two brothers, Bakasura and Agasura, they didn't do much really, not even Putana's level. But you gave them also liberation. If you see all the demons in Bhagavatam, especially in the Vrindavana pastime, there are only two demons who are given the merging into Krishna's body, that is Bakasura and Agasura. All others are killed. You see that, they are just killed. That's all the description. So you are given liberation also to these two demons also. Why? Because they were associates of Putana. And what did you do? Tvameva devapita. You have arpita. You have given yourself to them. What is left for you to give to your devotees, dear devotees? Already you have given yourself to Putana and Agasura and Bakasura. What a beautiful prayer here. He is telling, Lord, you don't have anything to give to your devotees. And devotees said, Lord, we have not come to ask you for anything. We have come to serve you. Ajita, Ajitaha, Samamati Bihi. When you can conquer the unconquerable Lord by being free of all desires. Completely free of all desires. Yad Dhama Artha, their home, Artha, their Lakshmi, Suhrit, friends, Priya, dear relatives, Atma, Tanaya, sons, and then Prana, their own life, Ashayas, their body, everything they have offered to you, Tvatkrite. They have already offered to you. But you have offered yourself to Putana, Akasura and Bakasura for their service. What will you give to them? The only thing is service. Krishna gives himself in the form of the beautiful service. Hare Krishna. Jai Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari 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 Bol. Prabhu, time over, we won't have time for the questions, right? We'll stop here. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanibhyo vaishnavyo.